You just had to write that silly codicil to your will, didn't you, Edward?
Just having some fun, my dear.
You're really enjoying all this, aren't you?
Enormously.
You rascal, you.
Spread eagle on the hood. Spread eagle on the hood.
Something. Come on.
Spread eagle on the hood. Stay there. All right, now where's the woman? Where's the woman?
There is no woman. There's only some guy loading some stuff in the restaurant.
All right, shut up.
Hey, look, there's nothing in there.
Hey, what's the beef, man?
Look, I told you there's...
Where'd you get the van?
From a buddy of mine.
What buddy is that?
Just a guy, a friend of ours.
What about the woman? Her name was Catherine.
There is no woman.
never saw a woman.
He's opening a disco. Some guy in a weird nightshirt or something. I swear to God.
No woman?
No woman.
No.
Nobody named
All right.
True.
Settle down. I want you to get back in the van. I'm going to follow you back to the restaurant. Nice and easy. No games. Now back in the van. Back in the van.
Dude.
Just wait, listen. Follow this guy. Follow him. Oh, man, you're gonna get us killed.
Lengthy one. As you can see, all the people are filing out of the courtroom. We have District Attorney Roland Booth and Assistant District Attorney Scott Baldwin. Maybe we can get a comment from them. Excuse me, Mr. Booth. Have any members of the jury been selected yet?
Not at this moment, no.
Would you tell us what sort of strategy you have planned against Mr. Jerome?
Mr. Baldwin is handling this trial.
Well, maybe, Mr. Baldwin, you care to comment on what strategy?
No comment.
Well, Mr. Baldwin, what are you planning on doing once the jury has been
I
selected?
am planning on putting Victor Jerome away for the rest of his life. Excuse me.
Well, Mr. Booth, it seems that Assistant District Attorney Mr. Baldwin seems to be somewhat worried about this case. Do you have any comment on that?
Not at all. He's determined to win this case as much as I am.
Well, do you think that he really has the experience to carry this case off?
I have every confidence in Scott Baldwin. After all, it was his persistence and hard work that brought this case to trial.
Thank you very much for your comments, Mr. Booth. As you can see, we're not going to get very much.
Hello?
Hello, Cindy. It's Scott.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm okay.
Okay.
Everything is okay so far, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. I haven't been able to watch the television or anything. I'm too nervous.
You have nothing to worry about, Cindy. I have everything in control.
Oh, Scott, every time I think about getting on that stand, I don't know, I get so scared.
Cindy, you're gonna be just fine. You're staying out of sight, aren't you?
Are you kidding? I've been in the room the whole time.
Good.
Because you are my ace in the hole, and I don't want anybody to know about you until I put you up on the stand.
Boy, I wish this was really over with.
It's going to be over very soon, and you're going to help us win this. So just stay cool, okay?
Okay, I'm going to try.
Hang in there. Goodbye.
You're making my job real easy, Baldwin.
Never mind.
You got no real evidence against my client, and you know it.
We'll see.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I have with me Victor Jerome's lawyer and Assistant District Attorney Scott Baldwin. Would either one of you gentlemen care to comment on the proceedings thus far?
I have no comment at this time.
Well, he has nothing to say. No jury in this world is going to convict my client with the flimsy evidence that you put together.
Do you have any comment about that, Mr. Baldwin?
What can I say? Excuse me.
Well, we have just heard from...
I'm pretty confident they're going to win this one, Scott.
That's what I'm counting on. Let their guard down, then I'm going in for the kill.
Thank you, Miss Hill.
Thank you very much, Mr. Larrabee. We've just been speaking with Harry Larrabee, who is Victor Jerome's defense attorney, who has expressed complete confidence that his client will be acquitted of all charges against him in the Duke Lavery murder. However, that does not seem to be the case with the district attorney's office, because Scott Baldwin, who is assistant district attorney, has refused comment on all questions.
Something, Aunt Charlene? I am starving, and I wonder where the heck the room service people are.
How can you think of food at a time like this?
You shouldn't worry so much. You know that? I mean, it can give you frown lines, and besides, it is terrible for your appetite.
I don't understand you. Why, just the other day you were terrified.
Mm-hmm. You're right, but that was when I thought that Scott had a chance of convicting Victor Jerome.
And you don't think so now?
No, Aunt Charlene, I mean, you saw this. I mean, anytime he has a chance to get in front of the camera, Scott just rushes in, but he didn't do that, not today.
No.
Mm-mm.
No. And Victor Jerome's attorney looked awfully satisfied with himself.
And I thought Scott seemed to say that he really didn't have anything on Victor Jerome.
I still think it's a dangerous game you're playing.
Aunt Charlene, don't worry. It's one of those games you have to lose to win. You know what I mean? Coming. And it's about time. Thank you very much. Ah, it looks lovely.
What do we owe you?
It says here it's been taken care of.
By who?
Dr. Quartermain.
Not this time it hadn't.
Thank you very much. See you again. I know what you're thinking.
He is the son of a friend of mine and a married man.
What has that got to do with the price of caviar, which happens to be delicious? You gotta try this, Aunt Charlene.
How can you cheapen yourself like this?
I happen to know exactly how much I'm worth.
Oh.
It's a lot.
You selling yourself to the highest bidder these days?
You know something? You never used to sound so Victorian. Alan and I are just friends, and he's helping a friend out of a tiny financial crisis.
Well, then why don't you just go on back to work?
Because I have been too upset by the trial to work.
You just told me you weren't upset by the trial, and what? That's no excuse to let a man keep you.
Oh, Aunt Charlene, he's not keeping me, okay? He is just my friend.
Do you mean to let me think that he's just shelling out all this money because he wants to talk to you?
Why not? I am a very good talker.
Well, you're going to need to be once his wife finds out about it.
She won't find out, and besides, there is nothing going on to find out about.
Oh, sugar. I wish I could just have you come and live with me.
It's kind of funny, Aunt Charlene. I don't think my ex-husband would appreciate that very much. Besides, you don't have 24-hour room service.
Oh, now don't you be flip with me, Miss Press. I may be Tony's housekeeper, but I have my dignity and I have my pride.
Do you? Well, that must be really a lot of comfort to you when you're cleaning other people's toilets.
Lucy!
All right, Aunt Charlene, I'm sorry, okay? I didn't mean it to sound that way. It's just that I kind of like this life. I think you have to be a fool not to.
I think you'd have to be a fool to get mixed up with a married man. And what about Scott?
What about him?
Well, what does he think about all this?
Who cares about what he thinks? I mean, he's the one that put my life at risk by going after Victor Jerome.
Well, at least he works for his living.
Alan Quartermain works for a living. He happens to be a doctor and a very, very rich one.
Oh, then his having money, it makes this all right.
Well, sure. I mean, if he couldn't afford it, I certainly wouldn't have him pay for it. I mean, I do have some scruples.
Lucy, there are names for women who live like this.
I know that, Aunt Charlene, and they start with an H, don't they? Happy.